Well, speaking to Sunset TV, Duarte Pacheco said India's emergence as world's largest vibrant democracy is impressive.
Joining us on Sunset Television is President of Inter-Parliamentary Union, Excellency Duarte Pacheco. Sir, welcome to Sunset TV. This is your first visit to India. How's the experience? How is it going?
As Portuguese and as President of IPU, it's an honor to be in India, one of the most important parliaments and one of the most important countries of IPU. You know, we defend democracy, and so it is impossible to think in democracy without thinking in India as the largest democracy of the world. Of course, we always need to learn with each other. No one is perfect, and we need to be open to see the best practice of each one and to share with all of us. And so it was very interesting what I saw there, but I know that in the next days I will learn much more with your democracy and with your practice here in this wonderful parliament.
You talked about the best practices, sir. You witnessed the proceedings of the Lok Sabha, which is lower house of Indian Parliament, and the Rajya Sabha as well, which is the upper house of Indian Parliament. What were the big takeaways for you?
Now, it was very interesting to see the session because it was a very live, intensive session of questions to some ministers. And it is not so different as it happened in other parliaments, in my own, when we have the Prime Minister every month there to answer questions from parliamentarians. Because this is one of the essence of democracy, the fiscalization of the government. The government and the parliament is not just to make some laws. Yes, the legislative function is important, but also to fiscalize the government, because parliamentarians representing the people, opposition and the deputies from the government party, we are always the right to have this fiscalization task as essential in our job. Because if we don't ask questions, if we don't make some pressure, sometimes the ministers, the Prime Minister and the President and so on, they think everything is well and they forget to do more and more and more. This is one essential role of parliamentarians, and I saw here very intensive, showing that the MPs from this house are doing their job.
Absolutely, sir. Since you talked about India being, of course, the largest democracy of the world, what are the global parallels that you see across parliaments?
IPU has now 179 countries. And so we may say that there is just missing 14 to have all countries of UN present in our organization. And this is important because the collaboration between UN and IPU is very strong. In UN, we have the governments, and in IPU, we have the parliaments. And so we are just there not to say in parliaments, to say yes or no to the decisions of governments inside UN. We are there also to make a fiscalization and try to influence the decisions of UN. And in our organization, we have a lot of parliaments, 179, of course. Some are more important than others, not because they are largest, but because they work more inside our organization. And I hope and I wish that Indian Parliament can have in this my mandate a very impressive role, and I'm ready to help to do it.
Absolutely, sir. Lastly, you visited the Rajghat. You also visited the cathedral here. How was the experience, sir?
As you know, first of all, I feel here freedom of religion, and this is essential in our society. We don't have a free society if we don't respect the religion of each one. And so, like as a man, as a person, as a Christian. It was Sunday, and I feel that I need to go to the Mass. And it was respected. And it can be one example to everyone as well. Yes, in India we have freedom. We have freedom of gender, we don't have oppression, and we have freedom of religion as well. And we hope that no one, for the future, because democracy, we may say always, is like health. We need to prevent it every time, every day. Because we just see how important is it when we lost it. It can happen with these pandemic times. It shows us if we think that everything is perfect, and sometimes and we wake up and we saw how important health is to the society, and democracy is the same. We need to defend it every day, because when we wake up, we can see that someone is trying to disturb it. And so it was very important for me as well to feel, not just to see, but to feel the freedom of religion wishes of each one here in New Delhi.
Absolutely, sir. We do hope that you have a very good visit in Delhi, in India. But you joined us. Thank you so much for talking to Sunset Television.
Thank you so much. And we may talk later in the end of this trip.
Definitely. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
Reporting from Parliament, Kriti Mishra with camera person Junaid Khan.
Well, there you saw Duarte Pacheco speaking to